Oh, right. It switches my microphone back on automatically. I like that feature. I'd been working on that this morning. I was just talking to my guest here that I've spent all morning just faffing about doing stuff. Welcome to Simon and the party. Welcome to the party. Welcome, Peppo. You're here, sort of the wallflower in the corner. Clutching your beer, looking around to see if anybody else will turn up, and so are we. Actually, So I faffed about and made that intro this morning. I took an old intro and fiddled about with it and put some new music onto it and uploaded it, and that was that. So here we are, and without. Karage. Oh yes, that's right. You had karage in your fridge. That's right. Yes, I had roast pork for lunch, so I'm good. Right, I'm going to announce now that my friend from Skippy's, the waitress, has not seen her Instagram message. She'd forgot probably that we'd never been connected on Instagram before. So when you send a message to somebody on Instagram, it's pending. And if they see it, then they have to approve it and blah, blah, blah. And she's not seen it, not approved it. So even though I sent the link, I suspect she will not turn up. But I have a Skippy's Instagram video in which she appears, just to show you who she is and so on. That she was going to come to the party, but isn't at the moment. Caught a cold, catched a cold, caught a cold. Okay. So I get my dear, right, and it's 5:00 in the morning in California, and the first party guest has arrived. The online guest. You're welcome to join, Peppo. Actually, I could throw you a link. I've got my Discord open, so I could chuck you a link on Discord, and you could pop in with your mouth full of karage. Adalabate. I'm not quite sure if I'm connected to you on Facebook, aren't I? On Messenger. So if you feel like joining, if you're not helping your mother like you were last time and couldn't join, that sort of thing, you're welcome to come and join the party. Just say so in comments whether you can or can't. But I'll shut up rabbiting now, and I'll put the music back on first, just to have some nice background doodah music. Where is it? Japanese jazz, various. No, where has it gone? I've lost it. I've lost my jazz. Japanese jazz, funk, and rare grooves. There we go. Okay, right. And who have we got? It's our resident insomniac. It's UFO Bob. Hello, welcome to the party, Bob.
Good morning. Such as it is.
It's dark in California. Apparently,
yes, it is. I mean, it's still dark. It's 5:03. We won't get sunlight for about another hour.
Oh right. It's vampire time on Simon's. It doesn't go out into the sun.
Actually, this is about the time I normally wake up in the morning. Is 5 a.m. I'm usually on set about 7 o'clock, and I work until about 2:30. And I come home and I try to do things with my channel.
Oh, right. So you work from 7 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon.
Right.
God, I couldn't do that. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, but that's usually my bladder saying, "Come on."
Well, I do that too, actually. I mean, I'm now at that age where I go to the bathroom more at night than I sleep.
You just need to have it extend a long tube from your bedroom.
Well,
yeah. So let's not go into that. No.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Oh, shh. We have to be careful because Adalabate has a migraine.
Oh.
So she can't join. I'm very sorry to hear that, Adalabate.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. So yes, keep this on low volume because we could get loud.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm loud no matter what time of day it is. But I'll try to bring it down to a nice mellow 5 a.m. level.
ASMR show. Especially Adalabate.
Be very, very quiet. Hunting Simon's rabbits.
I'm seeing rabbits. It's the wine, you know.
I was going to say, yeah, well, they tell you need more of it or less of it. I'm not sure which. Now,
Oh,
somewhere somebody was listening to this and they're trying to bump up their audio thinking there's something wrong.
there he is. There he is.
Ooh.
Now then, it's Still No Guitar.
Oh,
Could you explain Still No Guitar what your message was on general chat in Discord? And are you able to join? You're on 2 years ago with Alas. Alas is helping her mother, so she can't join. She said, "I've sent her a link just in case her mother sort of like finishes with her and she's free." But are you able to join Still No Guitar? And now waiting for him to reply. But yes, I have had 354 views on my short. So if all of those people suddenly decide, oh yes, I'd like to be on the show, it could be quite interesting, but I suspect not.
well, maybe they'll at least watch.
Yes, I mean it took me all of about like an hour to make. So
I have to admit, I really enjoy your adverts. They're always so unique. I'm going to use the word wacky, and I don't mean that pejoratively.
no, I mean it's I know what you mean. Yeah, and it's. I like to make them fun. I mean, I don't think I've ever made a serious short or advert.
And my stuff is always so kind of,
all right. Oh dear. Still no guitar can't join because he's got to do his taxes today. Oh God. Oh. I used to have to do that in Belgium. They used to sort of like 20 years ago. I'd never experienced this because when I worked in England, it was automatic. Your company, whoever you work for, like did it all, paid you. You didn't have to fill out your tax forms or anything. Came to Belgium, and this huge wad of papers came through the post with lots of codes and lots of like sections, and you had to plough through it and fill it in, and it was a nightmare. And I thought, God Almighty, they're a bit backward. Why do you have to do everything with paper like that? And then, like 5 years ago, they suddenly realised, oh yes, we can simplify it, and now it's done automatically. And I just have to say, do I approve of them taxing me a little bit extra or taxing me a little bit less at the end of the year? And usually, I just can't be bothered and just let them do it.
In my case, because I have my own business. I'm a freelance photographer and filmmaker, so I have to pay my taxes quarterly. And
God!
Yes, and in fact, I just paid them, and I made too much money last year. Such a thing as possible, and so last year my tax went up because of how much I made the previous year. And so now the quarterly estimates have gone up to what's the word I'm looking for? This is what they're estimating I'm going to pay to them next year.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes. So yeah. Oh, he's making a lot of money. Let's charge him more.
Yes.
Yes. Basically,
they're charging me about 33%.
Blimey. VAT here in Belgium is 21%. So 33% sounds quite... And Belgian taxes are some of the highest in Europe. I don't know about Germany or Holland or Japan, for that matter, Adelabati. Don't know. Do you have to fill in your taxes, Adelabati? Or is it done automatically by your employer? It's a pain. That's all I know.
If you're wondering, every now and then I'm looking down at my phone to see what the comments are saying, because I was expecting to see comments over here on my side where I'm seeing you and myself, and it says, see if
let's see if I can whether I can show that whether I.
I don't mind using your phone. Now, I may have to throw on my glasses from time to time.
Somewhere along here is I don't know, comments, no, share, no.
Don't worry about it.
I saw somewhere that I could
I don't
possibly.
think I don't think the audience is going to care if I'm looking down at my phone.
No, not to be honest. as long as you not look down and then nod off, that's all right.
Well, I'm at my age, that's a possibility.
Right. What I'm going to do is, I mean, some of you may or may not be curious about this new guest that was going to appear that probably isn't now because she's probably forgotten because she's only sort of 20 odd something and works at Skippy's as a waitress and subscribed to me when I told her that I had a channel, watched one of my shows and said, "Oh, I had a good laugh. It was fun." And I said, "Well, you can join." I said, and she said, "Oh yeah, okay. Here's my Instagram." And that was the last I heard of it. But if I go here, do this, right? So you can see here. Can you see that, Bob, as well?
Yes.
Can you see a lady with a yellow jumper? The lady with the yellow jumper is actually Emily, who many of you have heard me talk about. She's the proprietor of Skippy's, one of the proprietors. And she obviously has an Instagram account for the business, and she and her staff sometimes make funny little sort of clips as a way to promote the business. And so the girl standing next to her in the black top would have been the waitress that I'm friends with that would have appeared on the show. So I shall shut up and play this. Hang on. How do I do it? Instagram. Right.
I'm Terry with a Y.
And I'm Terry with an I. I'm a dance major.
And I'm not.
5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8, turn! And turn. Why didn't you turn?
Because we never agreed to do this.
There we go. That was. So that would have been Yolene. She's called Yolene. Why did you not come on the show? That's her name, Yolene. Yes, that would have been her in the black top there. And we could have quizzed her all about her boyfriend in Indonesia and how she's going to move there and everything. But yes, so that would have been a guest. And that was it, I'm afraid. So it's back to me and Bob. You'll have to make... we're not doing a routine like that, are we?
No. I'm still pretty spry, but I don't feel like,
feeling it and shaking it. I've got to go get my cocktail shakers,
Right, that's what you do.
Right. Income tax is 37.4% in Germany. Oh, God. No, I'm not going to Germany then. I'm not going to go and live there.
So who in the chat lives in Japan right now? Ada Labarte, right?
Ada Labarte, yeah.
That's right, because I've seen her videos where she's walking around.
Yes, she's walking around and not appearing on camera much these days, no. I have to say. I mean, I used to like your live streams, Ada Labarte, where I could actually sort of wave at you and stuff.
Yeah.
Or you'd wave back at us. And most of the ones that she's putting up these days are quite confusing, really. You think, oh, this is such and such a place in Tokyo, as it was last week. No, it's stuff that she filmed ages ago, and she's only just got round to putting it up. So there's still cherry blossoms appearing in Ada Labarte's videos.
Well, since we're kind of on the topic of Japan, and I know that this particular channel originally started with things Japanese in mind. One of the things we can talk about is I'm back to studying Japanese again online.
Oh, right.
I found a really good site to help me do this. It's a video. It's on YouTube, and it's called I believe Japanese with Naoko. And
I remember that. Yes, I think
you've seen her videos.
If it's the Naoko I'm thinking of, from like nearly 15 years ago.
Oh no, I don't think so. This young lady is probably not more than 25.
Oh no, then it's a different Naoko. No, yes, yeah.
But I'm to the point where I will throw on my headphones and while I'm shooting and just listen to her videos over and over and over, and then she has subtitles at first everything's in Japanese, so you better be able to at least read hiragana, katakana, and be able to, at least understand some basic kanji. But what I've been doing is that when I don't recognize a kanji, I listen to it. I go, okay, I can recognize what it said. Then I go and I use what is it called? It's Google Translate.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'll go, like Atsui, right? Hot.
yeah, hot.
And it'll
Yeah.
bring it up, and then I'll search it in another app called Emiwa, and I'll copy it, and I've been putting together a list. I'm going to show it to you here in just a second. For each video. So, for example, right now I just started watching her. Speaking of Japanese video, now, I don't know if you can see this. Can you?
Japanese. Speaking of summer, yes, I can.
Yeah.
I can't read the each. I mean, I'd have to sort of poke my face at the screen.
Sorry. Well, anyways, the point is that if anyone's interested in improving their Japanese, I highly recommend that you go look for Japanese with Naoko and give her stuff a try.
Oh, right. Okay, we'll have a look at that. Yes.
I mean, I'm hoping I before I pop the cork, I'll eventually get back to Japan one more time and actually use all this new information I've learned.
Well, there's like auto translate now, isn't there? They've got to almost to the stage where you can speak and it will automatically translate and speak it for you. So yes, by the time you get there,
that wasn't the goal when I started learning Japanese in the 80s.
Yeah.
AI will do everything for me. I'll just be a head in a glass tube floating around.
This is Bob, Yes, but then you can't experience all the other stuff. You have to have the body to go with it. Yeah.
I ain't got no body.
There we are. That was in lieu of Yolene.
Actually, I stole that from Young Frankenstein, which is a very
yes,
you know the movie?
Gene Wilder. Yeah,
that's a great. So it's like Igor has got his head on a shelf, right? And young Dr. Frankenstein is looking at all these, 6 months dead, 3 months dead, 1 month dead, and then it shows his face. And then he does that song, I ain't got no body.
Was it Marty Feldman who played Igor? Yeah.
I was working as an usher in the United Artists Theater when that movie came out, and I would watch that over and over and over. I loved it.
Oh, right. That's why you know all the songs.
Yeah, I do. I know a lot of the dialogue. Useless, but and I'm not as funny as Marty Feldman.
Yeah, so at least you can look straight.
That's true.
Not like him. Yeah.
And that's interesting because Marty was he's a Brit, right?
Yes. He was in a show with John Cleese and Tim Brooke Taylor called Not Only But Also or something like that, or Last the 1948 Show or something like that. It was called. Yeah.
Weird. Though.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're not even having fun.
Yes. Oh, I can tell me. It worked last week. Do you mean I wasn't having fun? And
really?
Time was not flying. I had to go into work on Saturday because my boss and his brother were at a family funeral or something, and so I had to sort of come in and be there in case people turned up, and I think 2 people turned up in 3 hours. So it was like, okay.
Well, it might have been boring, but at least you weren't busting your rear end.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
There's nothing
Tax is 45% in Japan, apparently. Oh, God.
Wow.
And they're still, their economy is still not.
Maybe
The streets are nice and clean.
Yeah.
But I mean,
That's because they don't have any rubbish to throw on it.
they'll keep it with them and put, and sort it. And right, I did have another video to show, or just as a background. I wonder if I can do it as a background. If I can, blah 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 blah. Stop screen. Okay, all right. Yeah. Oh yes, because I was still on Instagram, and I go to the other screen, share screen. Night walk after rain. It's a night walk after rain. Yeah. No, they don't want sound. Okay, share. Oh, it's finished. That's why I have to go back to the start. All right. Okay, and I go back here. Sorry, everybody. I'll do that. 6:20 p.m. This is actually Taipei 2 days ago. And you're thinking, well, why Taipei, Simon? What's that got to do with Japan? What's that got to do with anything? Well, let's say you all know Kimberley, don't you? And I was hoping this summer when I go back to England to do my usual and pop over and visit Kimberley and go out for a bender, cocktail drinking, having dinner and a wild old time. But this is Kimberley's new, possibly indefinite location. So I thought I'd have that in the background. So I shan't be going to Taipei in the summer or anytime soon, but I will try and get there if she's still there. So that was that. That's why I've got Taipei going on in the background. 51% a couple of years ago. In Holland. Blimey. We're still on taxes here. Well, I don't know about you lot, but I'm my bottle of wine is going down fast. I did tell people to bring wine, and I did have. Did anybody notice on my advert? I wonder if my advert. My short got a lot of reach, 354 views. Whether anybody noticed the particular sign in the video? Did you notice it, Bob?
Can't say I did.
Don't say it did. There was an animation in it. Do you reckon? Did you see the animation?
Well, I watched it twice.
Lots of waving hands.
Yeah, well, I saw the hands and the glasses of wine, but that's
yeah.
All
right.
I didn't see anything more unusual than normal.
Yeah. Well, normally those hands weren't waving, so I used a bit of AI and got them to make the hands wave, and the wine glasses. The wine glasses weren't there normally, but it's political. It's very political. I don't know if you know the story in your country, Bob. I'm not quite sure what state it was, possibly a red state. A teacher was ticked off by the school board, and eventually sort of had to quit her job because she put a poster up on the door of her classroom which said everybody is welcome here, with those waving hands with the hearts on them. And the school board said in the current political climate, this is not appropriate. This is possibly a woke symbol, and you must take it down. And all the teachers and other teachers and all the children and the parents were all up in arms about it, but the school board was unmovable. And so that's why I put that up there, because everybody is welcome here too, as long as you bring wine. That's my message.
Oh, I guess I'll have to go then.
Oh dear.
I mean, unless I can sit here and complain, that would be wine.
Yeah, you can whine. Wine, yes.
I'm very good at whining.
Yeah, so that's I thought, 354 views. I wonder whether because I didn't put any hashtags in that would indicate what I was like surreptitiously trying to sort of indicate.
Trying to subvert me?
I don't know. Everybody is welcome here, except people who don't agree with with not everybody being welcome, which is a contradiction. But there you go.
So
That was the end of the particular little broadcast on the part on behalf of the Nihilist Party of Simon.
So how many people we got there today in the chat going on?
In the chat, we've got 4 people. It could be that Adalabati has had to sort of turn us down.
That one of those 4 is probably me.
It could be.
because it's the only way I can watch the chats is by logging in. You saw my comment there at the beginning of the show, right?
Yes, you're being narcissistic.
Yes. I mean, how narcissistic is that? I'm actually watching the show that I'm in, and I'm doing it live. It's all about.
Well, I used to do that. Well, I do that when I do my walk round and about live. It's the only way I can see comments. Is if I watch myself.
Well, you better watch yourself.
I watch myself. Yes. I may have to switch to beer.
Sort of thing.
So yes, we're not getting any random people coming into the comments. Nobody's watching. Over 354 people who looked at the advert. They obviously
we better come up with something snappy to make them want to continue watching here.
Oh dear, God!
Do we have anything snappy? See, one of the sad things is I was hoping that I could do my side of the stream using my iPhone. Unfortunately, the way the app for StreamYard is set up, it only allows my iPhone to give it in vertical, not horizontal format. So I can't walk around and show you things here at the house. And so here I am sitting in the horizontal.
Well, what you could do is open the link on your iPhone again, and so you'll be sort of like. You be multiplied. You'll be like a rabbit. You'll be multiplying. You should have two of you on that, but you could then take your gimbal in vertical.
And that would make me duplicitous, right?
Yes, you would be duplicitous in the duplicity of of double entendres. I think they're still talking taxes in the comments. We're so boring that even taxes are more interesting than us.
I'm sorry. I wish I was a little more.
Well, no. I wish I was too. You're getting the night view of Taipei as well for free,
which is better than the night view of Southern California in my neighborhood.
and miles better than the night view of where I'm living. Dear me, it's like nothing happens here at night.
Well, it's pretty empty outside. Where I live, it's all old folks.
Oh right, yes, I've experienced that. As a child, I experienced that. My parents, when I was 6 or 7, my parents moved to a village, so that my dad could be closer to his work, and up until that point, I'd been living on a housing estate, a new housing estate in another part of England, and it was all new buildings, new houses and bungalows, and all filled with young families, all with kids. So it was great, I was running around playing with all the kids on the estate and having a great time. And then we moved, and we moved to a village, another part of the country, and all the houses had been built sort of like 40 years before, and were still occupied by the people who bought them 40 years before. So the street we moved onto was like full of pensioners.
Well, that's an interesting point, because see, I remember my folks bought their second house, and in fact, it was so new that we would go once a week down to the location and watch as they were building it. So it started out with a concrete slab, and then there was the wooden frame, and then they put the roof on, and so on and so forth. And that was the case. It was a brand new neighborhood. All the families were pretty much young families, so there's lots of kids on the street. But now if within 30 years that all disappeared. The kids grew up, moved away, and I mean, I like where I live. I mean, I feel very blessed to live where I live. But we don't have any. We do have one young family. It's about 2 doors down across the street. I've met them once, but that's about it.
What do you do? I mean, as a community, do you have sort of like community barbecues and stuff like that, or is it just like wave to each other on the street and that's about it, sort of thing?
Yeah, actually, the people next door, we visit from time to time. I'll go over to their house now and join them for the barbecue, or I'll go over there for wine. I've had many sessions of wine over at their house. He likes vodka and she likes Scotch whiskey.
Oh, wow. You see, cool neighbors.
Yes, quite. And he's like 85. He owns his own company, and it's some kind of a. They manufacture parts for high-speed motorboats, for racing boats.
Oh, that's fairly niche and unusual, yes.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And so we get along really well. I've said hello in passing to a handful of other people that live on the neighborhood, but I've never gotten to know anybody. And it's weird. I mean, I've been here 15 years. And, other than knowing the people next door, that's about it.
Right. I mean, I've been in this apartment. When did I come here? When did I move in here? 2010. So yeah, also 15 years. I'm just on waving terms and brief like chit chat terms with my neighbours, and that's about it.
I think that's the sad thing about modern society, is that we don't have real communities anymore. You don't talk to your neighbors. You don't see them with enough regularity to begin with, right? Everyone has different schedules. You get in your car, you drive to work or wherever it is you're going, and so there's no real opportunity to stop and socialize.
Not really, and the sort of I can't remember what something spaces where like. There's no social spaces anymore, really, apart from unless you're sort of really into sort of going to bars. There's not a lot of places where people gather in large groups, not to consume alcohol.
Unless, of course, you're going to protest something. That's a whole different story.
Well, we can't be doing that every week,
No.
Right, next week, come on, next week we're going to protest this, that, and the other.
What are we protesting? We're protesting that there are no protests.
Yes. Hey, it's Alas. Hang on. I've been lingering and enjoying. Oh,
she's here.
Right. Are you free, Alas? Are you free? Because there's a link in your Discord chat.
I don't think she's free, but she is reasonable.
Kaboom tish! There, I like that. Did you see the advert? Where Bob was beating the meat in the advert.
All right. I thought we'd get through this show without any.
Well, no, Lass has come up with. I can't stay though, so we'll be in and out. Ooh, Mrs. Okay. Titty not. Oh dear.
Okay, Alas, I see your message here, and I'm going to say hello back to you, Alas. Directly. Yeah. No chit chat, just right to you, eye to eye.
Yes, I like in the advert the way that the Alas called Still No Guitar. Were you a naughty teenager?
Who's not a naughty teenager? No?
It's going to be one of those shows. Yes, I've had a few, Alas. I said to bring wine. I don't suppose it would go down well with your mother, Alas, if you were stood there watching me drinking a bottle of wine. It's Simon said so, Mum. And Still No Guitar's taxes would be quite interesting if it had several bottles of wine.
Okay. That being said, so most of the viewers are basically European time, roughly.
Let's see. Peppo, Alas, and Still No Guitar are all within an hour of one another, and only Adalabati is in darkness, like
me.
Yes, like you, but
like this man walking around with his jacket hanging off his. Walking in darkness. I'm in grey daylight at the moment. You can't tell. But Overcast?
I mean, looking out my window, it's overcast and cloudy. It's been nice actually that it's rained. It's you don't often see people say, "Oh, it's good that it's rained," but it's been so dry here in Belgium for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it started raining yesterday and rained today, mostly today, and I'm hoping that that it'll continue actually because it's looking a bit like brown and barren.
That's kind of how it's here in California. The mornings are generally, overcast and great. But then again, I live near the coast. I'm like
Oh, right.
maybe 10 or 15 miles from the coast. So we
Mm.
get all that, ocean moisture.
Hmm.
And then also we have an expression, May gray and June gloom. And then by July 4th, the sun
Mm.
really pops out and then the temperatures, jump up to 90 to 100 for about a month. And then September rolls around and it cools
Mm.
down. And then we go into, to the fall.
And just, I mean, I haven't spoken to Meg or Coco for a long time. Have you been in touch with them at all? Have you heard from them?
No, funny enough, I was thinking about reaching out to them, see how they're doing.
Mm.
I know that both of them are traveling around quite a bit.
Mm. Yes, I know. I mean, Saki Trend with Meg and Todd were doing a lot of like sake things, but I mean, Coco's doing a lot of like promotional stuff as well. I mean, so yeah. She lives in New York. She lives in the East Coast now, doesn't she?
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think where. I want to say it's North Carolina.
Mm.
I could be wrong. I know that's again. It just goes back to the kind of the disconnect we have with society. People move far away. Yeah, you can talk. Fortunately, we can do this. This is amazing that you're in Belgium and I'm here in Southern California. We can be connected, but it's still not the same as when you get to see your friends face to face on a regular basis.
Yes, I mean that's exactly that's the way it is now with me and Kimberly. Sort of, it's going the way it's going to be. I mean, just if I'm lucky, I might get some like online interaction, but yeah, I shall be missing the actual face-to-face interaction that we used to be able to have. Yeah.
I have a friend that I've known since high school, over 50 years, and I used to manage the rock and roll band that he was in when
Mm-hmm.
we started in high school, and I did it for about 10 years. And then, uh, you know, we still keep in touch. I play guitar with him. I just saw him Friday, and most of the time when we get together to play music, we really don't play music. It's just to sit and talk because neither of us get to see anybody anymore.
Mm.
And so
From the old times, you mean? Yeah.
yeah. There's at least two people still who were from that period of time in the band who are around, but they've moved away. One moved out to Needles, California. Now, I don't expect anybody to know where that's at, but I can tell you it's on the border of California and Arizona, literally on the border. You just cross the river and you're in Arizona.
So that's like
And-
Southern California, but keep going, sort of thing. Is it?
Yeah, well, not that, but boy, talk about dry. It's full on desert.
Okay. Yes.
Um,
Let's go and move to the desert.
Yeah, really.
It'll be good.
And well, it's cheap living, and and people whose
Yes, yes.
life they don't have much money. That's where they move to,
Oh, right. Yeah.
And the other person, he's kind of on the other end. He's doing well financially, so he moved south of where we live about an hour.
Mhm.
And the drive here, he just doesn't like he doesn't like driving the freeways. His patience is not what it used to be when it comes to freeway.
All right. All right. Yes.
I can understand
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's here has had to deal with the freeways in Southern California, but they've really gotten bad in the last 10 or 15 years.
What is the maximum speed you're allowed to do on a freeway there? Pub quiz
Technically,
question
it's
33.
technically about 65 or 70. Sometimes, I'm 80 is, I've often, seen people driving at 80.
Mhm.
But usually during, morning rush hour traffic, you're lucky if you're doing 40.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it sounds a bit like a particular motorway here that I always go, oh God, no! Please don't let me have to do the delivery there.
Oh, yeah.
Using that motorway,
Well, that's another reason why I like, my schedule. I leave home at 6:30, and it takes me about 25 minutes to get to the studio. And fortunately, I'm going in the opposite direction. Most of the traffic is traveling in. So
I know that's a good thing on the one hand, but on the other, it makes you wonder if all the work is that way, you're going that way.
I can't complain. I mean, I like what I do. I like what I do very much. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be there. There's clearly a change in direction going on there.
But you're freelance, though, aren't you? I mean,
yeah. Well, that's why I'm saying that there's a change of direction. So I don't know how much longer.
So you may be replaced by a robot. Or something.
Yeah, well, it won't be a robot, but it will. But
the AI or something.
No, it's two individuals actually.
Oh right.
So,
I
understand it from the company's point of view. I'm freelance. I work 28 hours a week. They have a lot of work they want to get out because they've just created this brand new website. They have over 10,000 products. They want as quickly as possible as many of those products shot and on the site.
Yeah.
And it just makes sense for them to have 2 full-time employees doing what I've been doing for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So I don't begrudge them. I understand the logic behind it. It's business.
Yes, you can't do. They can't do it out of charity. They can't sort of. Yeah.
Now I'm hoping that things will work out. That they'll, maybe for whatever reason, because they like a certain style that I do for a certain type of product, they might. You
could maybe leverage some networking with them or something, and see if you can,
Maybe I mean, it hasn't been officially announced. It's just there are things that I've seen that are leading me to believe this is the direction that things are going to go.
Yes, the sort of the writing on the wall kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yes. So I had that, and when I was in England, when I was working for the National Trust. I was just thinking a week or so ago about when I applied. I got my first job I ever applied for. I got it. First ever interview, first ever job interview, first ever job. That I dared to apply for, and I got it. But at the interview, typical question the interviewers ask you: what do you see yourself doing in the next 5 years? In 5 years' time? And I was thinking, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, I quite like just to be doing what I'd planned to do by doing this job, But you have to sort of say, oh well, I want to be, But I didn't twig that that their policy with replacing my person I was taking over from, who had been this elderly lady, was to sort of beef up the whole process, and that they were going to use it as this place that I was going to work at as a sort of like a training ground, as it were, for potential new people. And I was going to be the first of these sort of thing, with the obvious sort of underlying message being that after 5 years we're expecting you to bugger off and make space for somebody else. But I was quite happy doing this old lady's job. It was dead easy. It didn't pay that much, but I mean, I was quite happy just sitting at the door, taking tickets and getting a free lunch and stuff. That's great.
Thing is, I don't think most people have any idea where they're going to be in 5 years.
Not when you're in your 20s. No, I was like 25. I didn't realize in 5 years I was going to be married with and having children. Sort of thing.
In my case, in 5 years, I may be 6 foot under.
Yes, that would be a bit difficult getting to work then, wouldn't it?
Yes, exactly.
Where's Bob? He's over there. Can you ask him something? Gets the Ouija board out.
Well, actually, it'll be AI. And instead of a headset, there'll be a monitor.
Yes, there'll be your consciousness will be transferred into a. Will be a Bob app. Ask Bob.
Oh, God Almighty!
All right, Alas is asking, are you going to retire? Can we come to your
Not
retirement
if I
party?
can help it. Let me put it to you this way. I very much enjoy what I do, and I see no reason to retire. And if I can find some freelance work elsewhere, I'll take it. I'm trying to think of some options. If I have to retire, I will. I mean, in other words, if no one's going to hire me, well, there's no choice.
Yeah.
I have prepared for the time when I won't be able to work, so I won't be, living on the street, so to speak. However, the amount of money that I'm making now is about 3/4 of my overall income, and so to have 3/4 of my income, suddenly,
Disappear.
yeah, it will force me to, change my my spending habits significantly.
Yes, you'll be moving to Arizona.
No, not gonna happen.
All right, Alas says, "Oh my God, an Ask UFO Bob app sounds amazing." There you are. That's an idea for your next short. You could do it like
Well, you know what? I tell you something. Excuse me. Kind of itchy nose. I've tried not to scratch it, but it's just driving me nuts. I've been trying to edit my most recent video, and I thought I'd have it done a month ago. And that's another thing I'm noticing. I don't have the energy that I used to have after I come home from work. It used to be I could come home from work and put in 4 or 5 hours working on my show, and then I also was looking at it, and kind of disappointed. I felt, oh, this is going to be an interesting story, and now I'm going, this is boring. I don't know. So there's a part of me that's thinking I might just retire the show, actually. Now, don't quote me on that.
No, we won't. It's like
I'm thinking out loud, which is always dangerous.
Well, I think it's dangerous. Out loud or not.
That's why doing, when you asked me to be on the house party, I go, oh, that's good, breaking the monotony. I've got to do new things. I don't want to get stuck in a rut. And actually, if I am cut from this company, maybe that's going to be a blessing in disguise. Maybe what I need to do is, by not working for these people, maybe I'm going to put all my time and energy into the show, and maybe that will allow the show to grow, because I only got like 7,100 subscribers, and only about 10% of those actually watch. And I put a lot of time and effort into those shows, and really, for the amount of time and effort, the payback is not really that rewarding. It's not like, again, life changes. And when YouTube first came out, you could just stare into a camera and stick your tongue out and get 1,000 views.
Yes. Yes, if only that were true these days.
Yeah. Now you're lucky you're spending $100,000 to get all this great equipment and do these great shows and travel around the world, and maybe you get 100 views. It's not the same between the way they've changed the algorithm, and people expect, well, there's just more content, so there's more choices.
Yes. Oh, my video is finished on the background. I
thought you were kicking me off.
No. I'm going to sort of stop sharing the stop screen. There we go. There Taipei. That was a walk around Taipei at night. That's finished.
Taipei at night.
very safe. I've been looking at lots of videos, obviously, because Kimberly just moved there. So and it's very, very like Japan, actually.
I mean, that's one of the things I want to do is I want to get back to Japan and just, that's the irony is that if I lose this job, I'll have the time, but I won't have the funds.
Yes, it's a catch-22 situation. Yeah. Yes, I mean,
sounds like I'm tuning this into a kind of a gloomy ending of a show. Let's bring
lighten it up. Yes,
lighten it up a bit.
Well, two people disappeared and came back. So maybe Still No Guitars finished his taxes, which I seriously doubt. Has Peppo finished his karage? Is Alas still cleaning for her mother? Oh, right. Alas says you both need to find yourselves sugar mummies. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think my sugar mummy would let me do the show if.
Yeah. No, I'm a one woman kind of guy, and even though I'm divorced, my heart still belongs to my ex. So
All right.
There's somebody at work who I find attractive, but I just don't think I want to go down that road anymore. And they've done that, and it's like, it's just
yes, it's kind of like yes, you're quite used to your own time, your own and
my life is
compromise.
It's stable. It's my life is stable, and when you bring another person into your life, that's going to require some major adjustments. And when you're young, you grow together, but when you're old, you get set in your ways. Sadly,
yes, I would have to sort of dust and vacuum much more than I should. I do at the moment.
That doesn't bother me. I'm a clean freak. I'm totally OCD.
Yes.
I like I go around and I make sure all the papers are lined up the same direction.
Oh dear! Oh no!
Yeah.
You'd freak out if you came to my place.
Well, that's the irony. Most of the people I know are like you, and I don't mean that pejoratively. It just means that most people don't have a problem living in clutter. I can't. I don't like it. I want things organized. I want the schedules. And that's why I'm good at what I do, because one of the things I do is that it's been able to take like all these different auto parts and set them up in such a way as they are visually interesting for the viewer, and they represent all aspects of the product, and all the parts that are associated with one another are next to one another, and it's all balanced. Well, that's because I have my OCD. It allows me to see. I can see minute little margin differences, and I'll go over there and I just a fraction of an inch move that part around so that the difference is there. The other people, they're not that way. They are like the average person. And it's one of the things that's kind of driving me nuts right now, because instead of the studio being neat and clean, it's a disaster.
If you ever came to visit me, that would. But when people come to visit me, like this Japanese lady like last year or a couple of years ago, that forced me to tidy up.
But you see, it's different. If it's your home and I go visit your home, I don't mind how you live. That's your home. Okay? But
outside of this room, it's quite reasonable. Inside of this room, it's chaotic. You can't see it because it's all fake.
I understand that, but that's what's really nice too about your studio is that you can switch out your backgrounds constantly. It's always something different. This is how it's going to be, no matter whether it's this week or next year.
Well, you could. If you're on, I don't know whether the guests can do it. I mean, I can. There we go. Look, I'm at the hill outside my parents' house. There.
I've seen that. Now, how would I do that if I were going to do it on this side? Let me
You'd have to. I don't know whether the guests can do it, but I mean, your virtual background. You go into the settings.
Oh yeah, I see settings. Okay.
And then it should. You should have
my appearance. That's going to take a lot of work.
Put it on maximum. There we go.
Oh, I see. Virtual background.
Yeah.
Heads up, the green screen feature uses a bit more computer resources than other features. The more powerful computer is, the better.
You've got a decent computer, better than mine.
I'm still going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You could suddenly find yourself on a Hawaiian beach. or
Oh, it says, I have a green screen. No, I don't. Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Mid-century modern interior.
Now that's my kind of home. I like
His son has gone up in the world.
Yes, I have.
It's got a tax rebate. There we
Of course, I'm transmutating or.
Oh dear, he's a trans person now.
Yes. Everyone's welcome here.
Everyone is welcome here, indeed. Yes. Hello, Robert.
I'm it's interdimensional. That's what's happening.
Yes. Yes, it's UFO Bob. Yes, he's beamed down.
Let's see what's this. But actually,
Yes.
I'm just another brick in the wall.
Wall. We don't need no education. That's why we voted for.
Upload a
so-and-so.
background. Let's see what do I have anything I can upload for that'll be fun? I have no idea what this is.
I think you can. There's a plus sign, which means you can add your own background
That's what I'm about to do. But I
just make sure that you click on the right file and not the one with that you don't want people to see.
Yes,
Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink. Say no more. Car porn.
car porn.
Car porn. Car part porn. There we are.
Let's
This is what he arranges these car parts, when nobody's looking into all sides.
Oh, here you go. Oh yeah, here. This will be fun. Maybe. Will this work?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Case in point.
Hi, everybody. It's UFO Bob.
Actually, this was when I was trying to use AI to come up with a thumbnail. For one
Oh
of my-
dear. Oh, never go that way. Oh dear.
Well, I that's why I didn't. I really don't like AI.
No,
Maybe
it's
because of my
very
age.
limited.
Yeah.
Like
Not only that, but I don't know. Everyone just says AI is going to take over everything. I don't really understand it. Again, maybe that's because of my age. But I like real things.
mm,
That's why I don't. There are times, to use certain techniques, but in most cases, I don't think.
all right, there's the virtual background of your office.
Actually, I'm virtual. Actually,
Yes.
I'm AI generated. I don't really exist.
It's just an app that I've downloaded
I
to my
exist-
show.
I exist only in my mind.
I was watching a video before about the fact that they've proven that time does not exist in reality, and that the universe did not originate in the Big Bang, that it existed at all points in now, and something, and it had Einstein and stuff in it, and it was quite interesting. I seem to remember.
And I have to say to that, it's like every, 50 years, what was considered truth has been replaced with something else that says, well, actually, no, it's this. So I no longer believe any of that crap. No one really knows. They think they know,
No,
but they
basically,
don't.
yes.
But we're gonna get existential here and philosophical, and they'll shoo away the rest of your audience.
Yeah, Phil never showed up, nor did Yolene. Alas, was at her mum's. Peppo was too busy stuffing his face. Still
Well,
no
at least-
guitar. Is buried under paper. Adalabati. We have to be quiet, Adalabati. But thank you all for coming to the party. It's a pity you couldn't all pop in, and it's a pity the 354 people who watched my advert didn't show up. That would have been a real big party. But next week on the show, I have to have my pictures taken for work to go up on a wall. The manager thought it fun for us all to have our pictures taken on Snapchat. Snapchat? Well, it's weird. I had no wrinkles and looked really good. Okay. Well, I remember you were on the show like 2 years ago. And I didn't see any wrinkles. Or maybe you're using a filter. But, and if I get close-ups of me with my neck, I look really old.
Oh, you want to talk about? I've got Grandpa Simpson neck now. See that? A little line. Yeah. Yeah. That now I'm wearing. You can't. I don't have them in, but I've started wearing hearing aids now.
Oh, right. These are just AirPods that you've got in. Like...
Yeah. Well, the irony is they don't really. Yeah, they help a little bit. Not my hearing is not that bad, fortunately. It's, all my loss is all in the high frequency areas. There's a whole story there I could talk about, but you're about to wrap up the show.
No, not really. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up the show, and I don't want to hear about like lumps of earwax and things. No. Yes.
You have a way of going. I'm going in a straight line, and you just go.
Yes. Next week on the show, UFO Bob plays Shrek. There we go. Thank you for watching, everybody. You can all go and now drink your wine that you brought along specially and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm probably going to possibly best stop drinking my wine and go and have something to eat to absorb it. And I shall then go and play a video game or something to while away the hours for the rest of my Sunday. I'd like to thank UFO Bob, who's now got the entire day to fill, and you all for putting up with it. It's Simon's talent. I've got talent. I don't know. I've never had any talent. I've never been that lucky. No, but anyway, no. Right. Time to say goodbye, everybody. Say goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody.
See y'all later.
Bye-bye, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks. See you.